Initially entitled Gold Rush Alaska, the reality TV series Gold Rush is centered around multiple families who are still high on the historical gold rush that enveloped the world in the 19th century, with one of the greatest being the California Gold Rush from 1848 to 1855. Most of the regions, however, have had their gold deposits emptied long ago. The series focuses on the few surviving true gold-abundant places, such as the Klondike region near Dawson City, Yukon, Canada, including also certain parts of Alaska, USA. Throughout its 12 years and 12 seasons of running, with 287 episodes and 5 awards along with another nomination, Gold Rush has thus far featured 6 family-owned mining companies in total, all of whom have generational experience with the art of placer mining. With their particular strategy, the gold is mined from various stream beds or floodplain deposits, also known as alluvial deposits. These are home to not only the world's royal chemical element, but also a number of other minerals, though most of them don't bring as much of a profit. Gemstones are an exception to this, since finding them is almost as good as running into a stacked gold vein. That said, it seems that the sources are either running out, or Discovery Channel simply decided to broaden the show's area coverage. Starting with season 12 in 2021, the families also began working in certain mineral-rich parts of South America, as well as the western strip of the US and Canada. Fans now expect this expansion strategy to continue during the coming seasons, as the series is showing no signs of slowing down. The 6 families whose members and employees made up the complete cast of the show over its duration are Hoffman/Turin, Schnabel, Hurt, Beets, Ness, and Lewis, with the latter two being quite recent to the fold, as early as seasons 9 and 11 respectively. In late 2022, the Hurt and Hoffman/Turin families are out of the picture, while Schnabel and Beets definitely dominate the younger two. One of the biggest advantages of the Hoffman/Turin family throughout the show has been its core of highly talented employees, as well as family members who had a good eye for capability. Juan Ibarra is one such addition, who started working for them in season 6 of Gold Rush as one of their lead mechanics. When the Hoffmans dropped out of the show 3 years later, Juan decided to stay in the spotlight by switching over to the Beets in season 9, with whom he's kept close ties with ever since. In late 2022, the family continued to prosper, in large part thanks to Juan's efforts, with their 9th season gold ounce total rising from 3,659 in season 8 to just over 4,400. Born on the 2nd of April 1983 in Reno, Nevada, USA, Juan Ibarra hails from a Hispanic family who moved to the area a few years before his birth, its patriarch being a plumber with his own business and a long career. Juan initially followed in his father's footsteps, learning the secrets of the trade even as a young child. Naturally, his interest in the mechanical side of things grew each year, but for him, plumbing was never the end goal. Ibarra grew up wanting to work on all sorts of machines, especially the big rigs used in deep earth mining and harvesting, including farm equipment. As a result, he worked in plumbing during his adolescence, but searched for new fields to become involved in. He made sure to matriculate from Proctor R. Hug High School in his birth town in 2001, prior to fully dedicating himself to working for his father, never considering getting a college degree as he'd already found his calling by that time. In 2004, Juan founded his own Ibarra Industries LLC, which initially dealt in repairing all kinds of mechanical equipment, mostly of the minor type. They eventually graduated to fixing all sorts of heavy machinery, including most vehicles used in mines, at construction sites, and in oil fields. As Ibarra's Industries' reputation grew over the years, Juan was eventually contacted by members of the Hoffman/Turin families from Gold Rush, and asked to repair the heavy machinery they were using for gold mining. The financial incentive was apparently good enough for even Juan to accept joining the company and then the show, since he normally shies away from the camera, preferring to work privately. Ibarra was first featured on the screen in 2015 in the 4th episode of the 6th season of Gold Rush entitled Grandpa's Golden Advice. Since then, he's been featured in every next season thus far, including the 12th and the latest, although it is only 3 episodes, just as in the 11th. This doesn't entail even half of Juan's screen presence, however, as he's also participated in numerous Gold Rush spin-offs, which are almost too many to count. One of the more recent was Gold Rush Winter's Fortune in 2021, in which a few daring experts take on the challenge of mining in the off-season, in the thick of the unforgiving Alaskan winter. Seeing as severe frost can cause a myriad of issues with machinery, many people such as Juan were required on the scene, with Ibarra one of the most experienced. He was seen in 3 episodes, helping the crews maintain an otherwise impossible quest for winter gold. Another such spin-off is entitled Gold Rush The Dirt, in which Juan has appeared 6 times, in seasons 5, 6, 7, and 8, giving his professional opinion on many of the situations that occurred during the filming of the original series. As the name suggests, this show mostly deals with behind-the-scenes actions, and sends experts into the field to finally answer some of the hottest questions asked by fans. Another important thing to note is that, while the Hoffman/Tern families did indeed drop out of the main titles, there have been spin-offs made about their continued business after Gold Rush. The biggest is entitled Gold Rush Dave Turin's Lost Mine, in which the head of the Tern family sets his sights on a long-forgotten abandoned mine which no one wanted to venture into. As the challenge is taken and expertise is required in the field more than ever, especially due to the unconventionally dangerous terrain of the place, Juan is called into action. This is also in part due to the fact that Ibarra never completely stopped cooperating with the Turins, even though he switched to the family he now works for. Thus, he was seen in 9 of the 62 episodes of Gold Rush Dave Turin's Lost Mine, which is still ongoing. Juan appeared once in the first season and twice more in the second, but as the pressure of the operation mounted, it seems he was needed more frequently, showing up in 5 episodes of the 3rd season in 2021, and finally once more in the 4th in 2022. Ibarra apparently stays well connected to all of his former associates, and thus the audience shouldn't be surprised at seeing him in many more Gold Rush spin-offs in the future. Plus, those he's already featured in, as well as the main show itself. The most important Gold Rush derivative in Juan's career is Gold Rush Freddy Dodge's Mine Rescue, in which the so-called Gold Guru travels around mining hot zones and helps the most destitute of the bunch, giving them much-needed advice, machinery, and sometimes funds to help their business get back on track. With his mechanical experience, Juan is an invaluable asset to Freddy Dodge, who traveled with Ibarra throughout all of the show's 17 episodes across 2 seasons in 2021 and 2022. This series, even more than Gold Rush itself, showed the world just what a skilled mechanic Juan really is. Taking part in Gold Rush and the aforementioned spin-offs also helped Juan to expand and grow his own business, with companies like C-Tech Manufacturing being keen to work with him. Since Ibarra simply has to stay on the road most of the year, servicing multiple companies and mining families, as well as the rest of his own business, it seemed a practical solution for him to acquire a service truck, so that he could take his work anywhere. C-Tech proudly made the truck's aluminum drawers, which are said to be extremely durable and yet super lightweight. In the video tour of his brand new work machine called Mac, or Big Mac, Juan said that his child actually named the vehicle. On the front, there's also a figurine with cloth on its back. Juan touched it, saying, "He's got a Superman cape. My little guy there. He's ready to go. All set up. Ready to fly." Regarding some of the truck's specifications, Juan explained that it's a matte granite, 505 horsepower, 14-speed transmission, dual steering box that's an 18,000-pound, 8,160-kilogram front. We got the American Racing ATX wheels on the front of it. Of course, we got our signature color, Omaha Orange. He then started describing the equipment that the truck needed in order for him to service his customers, saying, "Then I got my Air Vantage 566. It's an all-in-one unit. 4-process machine, the air compressor, hydraulic pack, generator, and welder. And I got my badass reels. Each one of these reels got 120 feet of welding lead on them." There was also a lot more equipment to describe, and so Juan went on stating, "Of course, I got my PAL Pro 72 box. We got a 12,529-foot, 9-meter reach crane, and you gotta have your lube skid. So, I got my TPL, Taylor Pump and Lift lube skid, a 3-product with oil evacuation." There was also important gear on the back of the truck, which Juan explained by saying, "Of course, you can't forget a good vise. So we got my Vice out here. Actually, it's one of the Wiltons, made in the USA. It's a 1780. He moved to the side of the truck and popped it open, saying, "Then of course, last but not least, I got my C-Tech drawers, as always, on every one of my trucks. Always have to have C-Tech drawers. When it comes to drawer systems in a truck, you can't beat the C-Tech." As the vehicle was finally ready to go where it's meant to operate, Juan said, "Once we get it home, we'll get it tooled up, and hopefully, in the next week and a half, we're gonna have it on the road. Thanks for checking it out. Hopefully you enjoyed the truck, and I'll see you later." Although Juan was quite thorough in his tour, fans were still way too curious to stay quiet after only a 3-minute video, and so C-Tech posted another on the 11th of October 2022 entitled "Big Mac Q&A Session with Juan Ibarra, Viral Service Truck Tour Revisited." He answered many questions that the fans asked of C-Tech, such as, does this truck actually get put to work? To that end, he said, "Yeah, it does. Our new Mac, we took it to the show, and shortly after that show, we took it back on the road. And since then, we've already put a little over 20,000 miles, over 32,000 kilometers, on it." Juan further revealed that he's still quite active among gold rushers, saying it's been up to Alaska through the Yukon, British Columbia. Now it's actually back down in the lower 48. But yeah, it gets used day in and day out. Usually, we run it about 6 to 7 months out of the year, non-stop. So it does get put to work and certainly gets used a lot. Thus, aside from revealing that the truck works flawlessly in spite of its heavy use, Juan also openly showed everyone that he's still very much involved with the endeavors covered by Gold Rush, meaning he's there to stay for the long haul, especially with the brand new equipment he's now sporting. Lastly, even Ibarra's Discovery Channel profile page states that he's heavily involved with the current season. So fans, you have nothing to worry about. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.